days late and a dollar, couple of cents short. No, I'm just kidding. It's just two people.
Yes.
We got the two Negroes on today.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, I'll be right with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this going. Here we go. Privacy, public, boom. All right. Facebook should be on board now.
Let's get this party started.
All right. So we have
Hello, Johnny.
some updates on
Mm-hmm.
the presidential race. As you guys saw, that Mr. Trump destroyed Iowa. I can't even say he won. I think he just dismantled Iowa. And he, although she has not officially, you're right, bro. She has not officially dropped out the race. Nikki Haley does right now definitely not stand a chance.
No. And you know the beauty about it, this Iowa caucus, is that Trump wasn't in one debate.
One.
Not one debate. He just did his rallies. Not one debate. Oh, thank you. I'm feeling better. I took some sea moss, but I'm not.
It sounds a little stuffy. I can tell.
Yeah, I'm not 100% yet.
You want to knock you out so you feel better?
Yeah, do something. Knock this out of me. But I ain't no punk. I control this body.
I ain't going out like no punk.
No.
Mama didn't raise no fool.
Heck no.
But DeSantis dropped. Well, Krispy Kreme dropped out forever ago. And the surprising one was Vivek dropping out.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that one?
Vivek was really liked, man, in the rumblings of the conservative community. Then, of course, you have the people out there like us who saw him in a different light. He talked the talk, but there was just something about him, man, that was off to me. He speaks our language. He speaks that kind of MAGA, that cliche word, MAGA Republican, Trump language. And so he kind of, lured people in. And who's to know? We don't know if he's real about it or not. Our opinion is saying that there's something off about him.
Do you think he'll be the VP?
There's a possibility, because
maybe speaker, not speaker of the House, but the press secretary.
The press secretary, I kind of see Tucker Carlson getting that position. Tucker Carlson would be a great, press secretary, but I see Vivek securing a position in the cabinet.
Here's why I can't see Tucker being press secretary. I'll tell you.
That wouldn't be great, though. Wouldn't be great.
No. If I tell you why I think Vivek would make a better press secretary, for this reason. He doesn't ever fly off. See, but true. Tucker will laugh at you. And that
I love it, though. I love it. I love it when he does it.
Tucker will laugh at you. When he does that, Tucker will laugh at you. And I don't know if that'll go across the right way in the press secretary thing, but Vivek would do it. I think Vivek would do a better job at that.
Yeah, I mean,
he can take the hardball questions, and he has all the answers off the top of his head. So it's like right there.
Yeah, I mean, I see there's two options for Trump. One of them being Vivek, the other one being Carrie Lake. I think Trump is leaning towards a female VP. I honestly think, because he always talks about Carrie Lake. You hear him, he's always mentioning her, Carrie Lake, so I kind of see it. On the other note, he did give Vivek some props. He said, hey, he did great. They all did great. Vivek was at 0 and he made it to 8%. So that's really good. So Vivek is young. I don't know, man.
Because he won't give a whole, and I'm glad he doesn't give a whole lot away. Okay. Now, last time I think Trump's biggest problem was that he did give too much of his plan ahead of time.
We got one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Beware, J-Dub.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly. You will get destroyed up in here. You better be.
Or better yet, explain what you mean by that.
Yes,
that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
The family is doing well, Diane. Thanks. You saying it's true does not clarify your statement.
Yeah,
J-Dub.
that's you.
I said to clarify your statement as to why. That's all I'm asking. Just clarify to why.
It's true in his world.
Yeah, I'm just want to
in
know
his,
why it's true.
yeah,
That's all.
he can't explain it. Let me guess before he types, conservatives are racist. Watch.
Or
Or
they are all Christian, which is not true.
yes.
See,
Hey,
I was right.
you guys are so easy.
I was right.
You guys are so
Okay.
easy.
Let me clarify some stuff. Conservatism is not Christianity, and Christianity is not conservatism.
No.
Okay, they're not mutually. They're not the same.
Mm-mm.
Okay, they are quite sometimes polar opposites. Okay, a conservative leans to a certain political alignment. A Christian conservative holds Christ first and has Christian or conservative belief structure, but they only go so far. But an actual conservative is not by nature a Christian. Don't ever conflate those two things. Okay, there are many Hindu conservatives,
that's
Muslim
right,
conservatives,
and I know a lot of people who aren't Christians who are conservatives.
Definite, yeah.
Lots from different backgrounds, from witches to warlocks to Satanists to pagans to Christians to Muslims. So don't try to pin conservatism with Christianity.
Yeah,
like
it's
Marlon
not
said.
the same. Christian is
things.
Christian, conservative is conservative. The same way you can see a leftist, and some of them are pedophiles, and some of them are not.
That's right.
You know, so.
Majority of them.
Majority. That was little.
Not all leftists are pedophiles, but most pedophiles are leftists. Now we're just messing around.
He finished last in Iowa because he's an unknown, and Iowa belonged to Trump long before now. That's as easy as it gets.
Yes,
and he finished last because he's not known.
And this is coming from a guy that went to the Iowa rally a couple of weeks ago, and that was Trump country. Now, for you to say that, why did Carrie Lake, get as many votes as she did? Why, if it's because he's Hindu, why would they even receive any votes at all in Iowa? Yeah. Trump should have got 100% of the vote, right? I don't know.
All I know is this. His religion has nothing to play in it, because even on his religious spectrum, he does not stick to it.
That's right.
He doesn't actually follow Hinduism, because when you hear him talk, the tenets that he's pushing as a political ideal, which is the inclusive nonsense, is not Hindu by nature. At all. The same way that a bunch of the stuff that Trump may do is not Christian by nature either. But he's still on the conservative spectrum based on the family dynamic that he wants to help promote. Yes, he's splitting it up because he's also promoting the other. But when you don't include the Christian aspect to conservatism, he's a conservative. He is a conservative. Which is why Christians may have a problem voting for people like Trump or for people like Vivek or anyone, because we have to gauge it on a different spectrum. But we're not talking about the spectrum of Christianity in this talk. We're talking about the political field. And on the political field, Vivek would make a grandiose vice president compared to the other people in the field. He would. He just simply would. Here's why, the second reason why he would make a better VP than Tucker to me. I think he has the kind of voice to say what Trump wants to say without coming across condescending. Is he unlike Mike Pence? Mike Pence was not a speaker at all. No, I hated to hear that man talk. Vivek will at least be able to convey what Trump wants to say without people saying that and here's what they can't say: he's a racist, because he's a minority.
That's right.
So it's a win-win. In either case, he's either win. But I think the fight between Tucker and Vivek for VP would be a great fight, I think, but I don't know who he would eventually go with. Someone said they should put Alex Jones as speaker.
That'd be great.
As the press secretary.
We got all these gay frogs in here, the Draconians.
Man, imagine Alex Jones as a press secretary.
God, it's if Trump picks him as VP, I give him a bit of a doubt. Like Marlon said, I like the way Vivek carries himself. He's very smooth, but on the other hand,
Too
there
smooth.
was another guy who was a smooth talker too. And
Barack
that's
Obama.
where
Mhm.
that's where
The
I
worry
don't
is,
really
yeah.
I worry about him.
Yeah. I mean, Kerry would be a great VP pick, I guess, but I'm still leery about her too. I have questions about her too, but not on the same level as Vivek.
Okay, real quick, Marlon. J-Dub, what do you mean conservatives aren't ready for Vivek? Explain that. So I want to see where you're getting at, because you're not making any sense.
And also, are you a conservative?
Please say no.
Just a question. Are you a conservative?
He's not, because he doesn't
That would
speak
be
in
the best.
conservatism.
That's where I really want to start first. If are you a conservative? To have this statement, are you a conservative?
Probably not.
Okay, so are you not ready for Vivek yet?
Hmm.
You aren't ready for Vivek? What about Vivek are you not ready for?
Yeah, because neither
Because
one
you
of
say
us said.
you said you're a conservative, and you said that they're not ready for Vivek. So why aren't you ready for Vivek? What's wrong with Vivek that you're not ready for?
Because I know the conservatives on this panel didn't say anything about not ready for him. We just said there's something about him. It has nothing to do with him as his race or
Hindu
what
or
he
any
looks
of that.
like. Has
I
nothing
just
to
want to
do
know
with
what
that.
you mean by that.
Yeah, explain, please.
That'd be grand if you can explain that, because
Yeah,
I think in the grand scheme of things, no. But okay, so here's the problem, Jada.
who are the older
You
people?
said, I'm going to bring back up what you said. Okay, this is what you said. Conservatives are not ready for Vivek yet. I asked you if you were a conservative. You said yes. You said then, I like him, but other people who vote don't like him. How do you know that?
Older people.
How do you know?
Yeah, who
that
are the older people?
Other people and older people are not in the same mindset as you are as a conservative?
Yeah.
What gave you that impression? Why is it that they can't like him but prefer Trump more? And that's why they vote the way they vote. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's an Indian, a Hindu, a newcomer. It's just that they trust Trump more than they trust Vivek. That's all it is. So how can you say that they're not ready for Vivek yet? Vivek is not a scary individual. He's actually easy to read. So how are the older people not ready for Vivek? I don't get that. That's in one state. You're not answering my question, though. How can you blanket say conservatives are not ready for Vivek based on one state? I'm just trying to figure out how you can put it that bluntly and not have anything to base it on, except for Iowa. I'm just confused about that. That's all.
I think he's
now remember, Vivek doesn't have the track record that Trump has going into this election cycle.
That's right.
Vivek does not have the momentum of having been president. That's all. He does not. That's the only thing he's lacking. If Vivek had been president before, I bet you money he would have been the only one to fight and actually be running head to head with Trump on this one. I bet you money. But he didn't. He did not have that history, and Trump did. It really is that simple.
Yeah. And he pulled up, he was fourth in Iowa, and he pulled out because he saw truth. And you keep speaking in these, like, what truth? Tell us the truth that that Vivek saw.
You know what's better? Come on up. Come on up.
Oh, shoot.
Come on up.
This is rare.
Come on up and tell us exactly what you mean by what you've stated so far. I will even make a grandiose exception with bro's approval, of course. You don't even have to show your face.
Yeah. How much time do we give him?
Just we'll give him as much time as he need within a 15-minute window.
Okay.
Come and explain exactly what you mean, so we don't have any misconstruing about your statements based on text and how it's written. Tell us. Because right now I'm thoroughly confused as to how you can say conservatives aren't, but you are conservative and you're ready. From your picture, it looks like I might be older than you. And if I am older than you, I would be what you call older.
Yes, me
and
too.
I would have no problem with Vivek being the president, because they all have some sort of baggage. I still, like I said, I still have questions about his Soros connection. Don't get me wrong. I want to get to the bottom of that before I say I'm going to vote for him. But it has nothing to do with Hinduism. So, if you can please say that so you're going to come up? Are you going to come up to explain your point?
I don't have a problem with Vivek, but if it came down, and here's how I don't have a problem. If it came down to Vivek and Biden, if Vivek would have stayed in, I dang sure would have voted for Vivek. And I'm pretty sure all the older people that you said that are not ready would have voted for Vivek.
Yeah, if Trump wasn't in this race, he would have been the candidate.
Yep,
he would have been the candidate.
How can I come up?
Click on this link. Nobody else, please. Just J-Dub. Just J-Dub. Click on that link.
Don't no one else click on it.
Nobody. If anybody else pops in, just make sure you use your name J-Dub when you put in your name. Okay, use J-Dub so I know who you are. There's the link. Come on up. We'll give you your whatever amount of time you need to explain what you mean. And also clarify what you mean by older, because people like Joyce is in the older category. And she does not look at Vivek as a Hindu. And that's why she won't vote for him.
I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't even think of him as a Hindu either. I never said, oh, that Hindu guy. I mean, who talks like that? So obviously you got some deep-seated issues with Vivek.
With Hindus. But he likes them, so it might be different.
Yeah.
And right, Diane is. Yeah. So I 80% of the doctors in this country are Indian.
I don't go to the doctor and be like, hey, what are you? Are you Hindu?
That's pretty true, though. I ain't gonna lie.
You
like,
can't check my eyes, Hindu guys.
Lots of them. There are lots of them.
Yeah. Oh my God, this world.
So there you go. You see, there's another one. Crazy Days, 64. They don't think about that on that vein. So click the link, jump on in, and we'll give you I tell you what, we'll give him 5 minutes max.
5 minutes.
That's plenty time. That won't distract from anything. It'll give him time to flesh out his argument. And
Shauna, you're young still.
Oh, you can't right now. Okay. Shauna, you hey, congrats on 54.
Congrats.
You can't.
We ain't there yet, but you know, we're. Hey, I'm close.
I'm around the corner. I'm
around the corner.
Okay.
I can say I'm still in my 40s.
I just hope that when I hit it, that it don't automatically just blows up my face, so I look 80. That's what I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
You ain't lying. Okay. You wake up one morning looking like
last night. You wake up looking like last night.
Oh, not me. I got one of these now. I'll be like pushing all that old out. It does work.
Oh, trust me, I feel 80 some days, but that has nothing to do with the number. That's all what I did to me. Yeah. In any way, the vice presidency is inconsequential in my mind simply for this reason. I still don't think that 2024 will take place.
Yeah.
I keep watching the wars that they're kicking off overseas, and they're leaving the borders open so that they can have a reason to say this is a problem and we should have addressed it, and we got all these issues. Now we got sleeper cells and we can't afford to have people roaming the streets because it could be dangerous. They'll kick off one sort of event where people get killed in the street, and they're going to say it was a terrorist attack based on something Islamic or something to do with Israel or something to do with Ukraine. And then they're going to say, for that reason, we have to declare martial law and we can't have an election. We're going to have a continuation of Mr. Biden's presidency. And that will not be looked at as any sort of tyrannical kind of thing from the left. They will think, oh, that's just common sense. They're not trying to steal anything. That's how they'll look at it.
Here's my prediction. Texas border. So right now, you know, the National Guard in Texas has taken over the border. They kicked out all the federal officers. The federal government has given Texas a certain amount of time to let the federal officers back in. I think today is the cutoff. I honestly think that there's going to be some false flag that pops off at the border, and bullets are going to be flying. Something's going to happen. Something. And they're going to declare a state of emergency just based off what's going on at the border.
Mm-hmm.
So when everyone talks about civil war and all that stuff, this could be the catalyst how the civil war starts, and it's going to start in Texas. That's my prediction. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. There is a now. Don't forget also that you can also count on Disease X to make a showing too. That's one of the other things that they can easily drop on us and say, this is also an emergency that we have to take care of.
Yes.
And we have to put in martial law, and we have to make sure you stay in your home. But that will not be tyrannical at all.
No.
Like at all. It'll be fine. It's just this is for your safety, and the greater good is what they'll tell you. This is to make sure that no one else gets ill. We can't afford for you to. In fact, we'll have you mail it in.
We care about you so much. You
just
know,
mail it in. Just mail in your vote.
For those of you that have been following the Savage Patriots for at least a year, we did an episode on Rumble about Disease X. Months ago, we talked about Disease X. And we talked about how they already have a patent for it, and it was already created. Now it's coming back. And you can look up the patent yourself. I don't remember the actual patent number. But this is something that they have already created. But most Americans won't look at the fact that there's a patent for it. They only can put patents on things that aren't naturally created. So if it's man-made, there's a patent. That should tell you enough. And if it pops up, this is going to be another way for them, because they know that if it comes down to Trump and Biden, Trump is going to win in a landslide. Everyone knows it. And if they try to steal the vote, everyone will know that they stole the vote. So they have to create a scenario to where they can declare martial law. And if you go back, and if you think about what Biden signed with the WEF when it comes to national emergencies, anything can be deemed a national emergency. Anything, weather, COVID, things at the border, gun violence, anything. So just be prepared for us to hear something like that to cancel the elections.
I think it'll end up happening.
Yeah.
The other thing is that you got to watch for these local mayors and governors that lean left. I know in Washington State, if they were to ever find a way to reinstate any of the pandemic procedures, they do have quarantine zones set up already. And they do have written into WEC and REC codes that you can go to people's homes under the context of them being suspected of having the C19, withdraw them from the home against their will. Trust me, it's in there. We've done that before. Take them to the quarantine location and leave them there until they deem them safe. Now, this is where the conspiracy comes. Suppose they decide to use that same measure, and since the IRS already has a running tally of who's left and who's right, and they're already banking on tagging them with the job of figuring out who's who, they come to your home because of who you vote for. And they have the insinuation that you do have something wrong, and they withdraw you just before you get time to go even mail in or even go in person to vote.
That's right.
Now they've just removed you because you're quarantined, and by law they can do it. So now you don't have the ability to vote. The people who are left on the outside do have the ability to vote, and they'll vote for the left. And that way, they don't ever come across as having done anything nefarious to influence the election. They'll be fine.
That's right.
They'll be fine.
And you got to think about the things that they were doing during CV. You know, look at Australia. And look how they were snatching people out their homes. That was a test. You know, they showed everyone, you know, why were they showing us all this? Because it's a test to see our reaction. So they were just showing us exactly what they're doing. Notice when they talk about gun laws, they always bring up Australia and all these other countries that have these, you know, crazy gun regulations. So the same thing goes with CV. They did it in Australia, and they're showing you exactly what they want to do. And if you do some research, you'll notice that these camps are already built up around the country. Already built up. So that's something that they would plan, and they would snatch you out your house, and them deeming you clear. How would they do that? You're going to get this injection. that's how we clear you. They're just not going to let you go.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
It's a
going to
lot
have to
more,
do
more.
something.
It's more dangerous now. It is a whole different variant. We can't take the
Yep.
chance. Can't do this. You can't do that. If
Mhm.
they could pull it off the first time, right? If they could pull it off the first time, and they started methods to make you do stuff, the only question remains is how much of a resistance are you going to put up? That's all.
It's always
And
the
if you
people.
decide to just say I'm not going with you, and then they decide to take China's methods and lock you into your own home,
Mhm.
you have now become that quarantine. Your kids can't go, your kids can't leave. You can't even leave to go get groceries because you are under quarantine in your own home. It's like house
That's
arrest.
right. That's right.
And trust me, this is not far fetched. Like I told you, Biden already said that this was something that he had, hey, we have a good relationship with China. We need to see China grow. China's the same people that welded people into their homes, mind you.
That's right.
Like they took down and burned an entire building with people in it. This actually happened in China, in case people forgot, because that video was circulating all over the internet before it was shut down by China. You saw people being dragged out of their houses. You saw them welding doors shut. And you saw them lighting houses on fire and kicking black African people out of China,
Yep.
even if they were married, because they
Mhm.
thought that's where everything was coming from.
That's right.
This happened, okay? And if you're telling me that the president of the United States right now is more than happy to identify as China as the next one that we need to help, trust and believe me, he'd be more than willing, especially because he's in their payroll, to do exactly that over here too. And he's setting
Exactly.
stuff up to do it. He's setting stuff up to do it.
And just listen to everything that these I always call them draconians say, right? You had Hillary Clinton a couple years ago come out and say, if we can take all MAGA Republicans or people that voted for Trump and put them in re-education camps. So imagine them snatching you up, calling it COVID, putting you through a camp to re-educate you, to send you back out. This is all part of the plan, man.
Yep,
That's
that's their plan.
And it's up to the people. We always say on this show, anything that happens to us, it's our fault because we allow it. We allow it. Don't allow it. If I have to take one to the chest on my front porch, so be it. That's how I live my life. You ain't sending me nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. And many other people think like this, but the majority of Americans would go, they would oblige, and they would do exactly what they're told. And that's how they control us.
I wanna see their get a couple of the reactions here. Because one in particular was so hilarious that it had me literally bleeding from the side.
Oh man.
Okay, here it is. This is the
I don't want to bleed from the side.
This is the one, bro. This one had me laughing, like really bad laughing at these people.
That's right, Shauna.
Let me try to have it ready. There we go. All right. This is on what you call it? Today. Okay. Enjoy.
We want to turn to Kristen Welker, moderator of Meet the Press, and Steve Kornacki, our national political correspondent. We love the duo so much. Yesterday, we're back for more. Okay, not a lot of suspense at the top of the ticket. Show us how big a blowout this was, though, for the former president.
Yeah, a couple ways to look at it, Savannah. I mean, first of all, the 51% that Donald Trump ends up with, that is a record in the Iowa caucuses. The previous best was 41%. And the margin here, it's basically 30 points, Trump to DeSantis. The previous best was 12 points. So he substantially improved on what we've seen historically. Look, Trump improved, obviously, across the board. The biggest improvement, evangelical voters. He lost them double digits in 2016. He swamped DeSantis and Haley among them. The one interesting nugget here, I think, look, 99 counties in Iowa. You see that Trump red all over this. There's one county that Trump didn't win. And I want to show you how close Trump came to go in 99 for 99. Check this out. One vote. Wow. And if it had flipped, Donald Trump would have won there, and he would have gone 99 for 99.
You know, what's so fascinating about this is if you look a long, long time ago, 1 year, Trump had a lot more seeming political vulnerability. It looked like some Republicans were looking for an alternative. What a difference a year makes.
They definitely were, and it's easy to forget this, but call this up. This is a line graph of the support for the candidates going back to the start of 2023. And you remember at the start of 23, Republicans had that bad midterm. The Trump-aligned candidates cost them key races. You had Ron DeSantis in some cases within 10 points of Trump nationally. That's why all these candidates emerged. They thought Republicans were moving on. Here's where it diverged. Trump's line went up, went down. Do you know what happened that week? That week, first week of March 2023, Trump was indicted for the first time in New York on the Stormy Daniels matter. It clearly brought a rally around Trump effect to Republicans.
Now watch something here, okay? To J-Dub, if you ever come back and watch. Look at Vivek. He never gained any momentum. He couldn't gain momentum because he had nothing that he could offer by way of history. He's a noob, and he's saying all the stuff that Trump's already said. It has nothing to do with his race, nothing to do with his spirituality. He is a newbie saying something that Trump already said and has a proven track record of being able to do. So, of course, he wouldn't win. The only reason Nikki Haley got any traction and Ron DeSantis got any action was, and even when they dropped off, was because they were trying to say something completely opposite, and they went against Trump. He went against Trump. So they got some people who were like, I'm on the fence about Trump, to vote for them until they realized, wait a minute, they have no substance at all either. Vivek went up and then slightly back down and went back up. In fact, he started lower in January and ended higher in November.
That's right.
So he gained traction in Iowa. He gained traction. It is not that they're not ready for him. It is not his time because he's going up against, I don't know how else I'm going to say this. He's going up against somebody who has a proven track record, and he's saying all the exact same talking points. Why would I vote for somebody new when I have the old guy who can tell me and do everything? He already did it once. He knows how those idiots play.
Yep.
So he's not going to come in there new. He's going to come in here firing. And he doesn't. Here's the other thing. Trump doesn't have anything to lose on this time around.
No,
if he gets in, he could come in and go ham. And I'm thinking that this man will come in for revenge. And I don't mind it. I'm here for it. I hope Trump shows up in there. And this is, mind you, this is on the political side. I hope that he shows up in there and takes everybody to task. And I mean, just rips everybody up from the roots, goes after all of their financials, and just destroys them. I hope that's what he does. I don't think it will, but I hope he does.
Left and right. Both.
Everybody.
All of them.
Rhinos and the pedos. All of them. Wipe them all out. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see him go in there and think revenge. For the first 2 years, shut down the border. Yes. Everything else, forget international stuff. Close down the border and just clean house. Go out. Let them call you a dictator all they want. Yes, go ahead and dictate. Wipe them all out. Remove them if you have to. Whatever means, however you got to do it. Then we can finish the last 2 years of your presidency doing stuff to make America better. That's all.
That's right.
Just get rid of the clowns.
Clean out the whole swamp.
Clean house. Just clean house.
Do you really think when Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, he's just going to forget about that? He's going to drain the swamp. If Trump says he's going to do it, he will do it.
He's pissed now too.
Yeah, and they're scared of that. They know it's coming. They know it.
He is pissed now. He is pissed.
4 indictments and the trajectory goes up, and maybe that's why we see him in courtrooms as much as the campaign trail. It's working for him. Kristen, let's talk about this race. Let's talk about DeSantis and Haley. Both are saying they got tickets out of Iowa. Haley is saying it's a 2-person race now. I think DeSantis might disagree. What is their path, if there is one at all?
We're talking about very narrow paths here, if at all. For Nikki Haley, it was going to go through New Hampshire. You're absolutely right. That second, third place finish, tight as a tick, Savannah. But Nikki Haley's trying to say, look, this is a victory, but she's been deprived of that momentum that she was looking for. Even when she gets to New Hampshire, who are her supporters there? Moderates, independents. That's not necessarily a winning coalition to win the nomination, because as Steve just laid out, look at who put Trump in the winner's slot in Iowa. In terms of Ron DeSantis, yes, he's stopping in South Carolina, But Savannah, it's not clear that he can win South Carolina or New Hampshire because guess who has the lead there? Donald Trump. Yes, Nikki Haley's within striking distance of Trump in New Hampshire. Her very narrow path just got narrower, and it's still not clear where Ron DeSantis goes from here.
The map doesn't get better for either one of them as the primaries go forward. Let's talk about Trump and his messaging last night, because he was quite magnanimous. Seemed to be wanting to say, "Kumbaya, it's time to put down our swords and get together and rally around. This thing's done."
That may have been the one word he didn't use, kumbaya, because he was basically praising his rivals. When was the last time we heard that? He dropped his nicknames for them. He said it's time for this country to come together.
You know why, you idiots? I know you guys are slow. I get the news is slow. He proved to them that they could not fight him.
That's right.
Even with name calling, they couldn't win. He doesn't have a need to name call them anymore. He has nothing more to fight. They are pretty much lame, dead ducks in the water. They can't do anything. I'm not yet, and he has never been the one to just keep beating his opponent when they're done. They're done. They're just done.
He knows it.
He didn't even talk. Did you see him talk about Hillary at all after he beat her? No. Right? Because that's not what he does.
Yeah.
He whooped you and you lost. Okay, there you go. Now move on.
And here's another, thing is that Trump has a 61% chance of winning California delegate.
That's crazy. That is crazy if he does that.
In California. So right now it's at 61% chance that he would take all the delegates in California. Everyone talks about California being this liberal cesspool, but there's a lot of silent voters out there who know the truth.
Especially after this year.
Yeah, after this, they know what's going on. So they're not going to come out and say it.
23
they
converted a lot of people. 23 converted a lot of people. Now, I don't know about Sarah Huckabee. Sarah Huckabee did some kind of, we have to cover her at some point because she did some crazy stuff in Arkansas. I don't know, maybe flew under the radar. But we'll show you. But I don't think she'd make a good VP the same way I don't think DeSantis would make a good VP. There are things about them that are just too fragile. And the reason I said between Tucker and Vivek is that they seem to have a self-sustaining spine. Like you can't see them step before the press and cower. They don't. Neither one of them have ever seized up before a question. And for vice president and for the press secretary, those are two vital things. Now, I will say, I personally would prefer that he does Alex Jones as speaker, and I'm dead serious about this. As the press secretary, I would be all in for Alex Jones to be the press secretary. Do you want to know why I say Alex Jones for press secretary? Because he knows how the press works.
Yeah.
And not just knows how the press works, he knows exactly what they know about him, and he doesn't care.
That's right.
He doesn't even have a reputation to preserve anymore. And he will be just like Trump. He doesn't have anything to bat for. This is the last leg. And if I'm going out swinging. Tucker can be VP, no problem, because I think on the global scale, I think he'll be able to hold his own.
I think so.
I think he'll be able to hold his own, no problem. But the crazy part is whether or not he's going to pick somebody like him or somebody that's the polar opposite. If he picks the polar opposite, I would suggest that he pick what's his name, Ben Carson.
As VP?
As VP. Here's why. Ben Carson could go into any situation and neutralize it.
True.
Like he went on The View. He went onto The View and didn't lose his cool. I don't know how that man did it. Look, if there was anybody I think that might be an angel incarnate, it would be Ben Carson. That man went on The View and didn't even break a sweat of anger. Like he was just just
super calm.
So I think on a global scale, he'll be able to handle, because he's not stupid either. Now, mind you, he's not a dumb man. He knows international stuff because he's had to travel for his own profession. So I don't see that being a problem for him. So there's a bunch of good candidates out there. And people may disagree with that Ben Carson thing because y'all look at Ben and think, but that man's gangster. Understand this. He didn't just grow up privileged. This man grew up in the hood. So this is the one thing I want people to understand about quiet people, especially quiet people that came from Section 8. Don't think just because he talk quiet and he's all cool and collected, he ain't gonna split your wig. I think one person could throw hands, it'd probably be Ben Carson. Okay,
Oh yeah.
and he'll do it while do calmly, like, oh well, I don't know, I tried to tell
Well,
you
you
not
know,
to talk to me that way, but you wouldn't listen.
I know where to hit you in your head in the right spots.
Yeah, Medulla ain't gonna. I'm glad I ain't gonna help you
Your
now.
medulla on this side, it doesn't do much. And I can fix it afterwards.
Your cerebral cortex is about to feel something. Bam, bam. I can see this. I can. I'm sorry, but I can't. I've known quiet people a long time. My nephew is one. Don't
Mhm.
cross quiet people, bro. Don't. That's the one people you don't cross is quiet ones. Okay, they're the
And they have a
dangerous.
lot of built-up anger.
They
Quiet
do.
people.
They are the crazy
Yeah.
ones. Okay. So for me, I'm curious. I think Iowa is a precursor. I don't think you see how the landslide happened in Iowa. I think there are at least 5 more states where he's going to do better in. I honestly believe there are at least 5 more states where he's going to absolutely destroy whoever is running against him in that state, regardless. And I think the other one will be Arizona.
It's a big one.
I think you're going to see him destroy Arizona. The only reason I think that is because when we looked at what actually happened in Arizona in 2020, that's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna say anymore because YouTube gonna be like, you said you did election denier. All I'm saying, look at 2020 and Arizona, and you're gonna see exactly. You're gonna see what I mean. That's all. That's all.
This election, especially if it happens or if Biden actually runs without them pulling a 25th Amendment on him,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be it's not even going to be. It's going to be an embarrassment for the Biden administration, an outgoing president, and it's going to be an embarrassment because the amount of votes that I think Trump is going to get, because like I said, there's a lot of quiet people out there, even Democrats, who are going to vote for Trump. They're just sitting back quiet. They're not as voiceful. They're not as loud as most people, as your typical Trump supporter. Most Trump supporters are very loud and proud about it, but you got those quiet ones. And the reason they're quiet is why? We all know. Social. You know, they don't want to lose their job, or they don't want people to know, or they don't want the dynamics of their life, disrupted.
To
change because they're voicing their opinion about a candidate. That's why a lot of people sit back quiet. They just go to the vote, place their vote, and keep it moving. But we're going to see.
Yes, we did. And we still stand by that. And I think everybody should understand that. I am not saying I am voting for Donald Trump. Never did I say that. I said he stands the best chance of any of the candidates, and he would do the best job of any candidate when you take away religion. I said that at the very beginning. Did I not? Did I stutter? I don't think I stuttered.
Yeah,
I will not be voting for him based on certain things to do with my Christianity, which is why I made that differentiation between conservatism and Christianity. I have a different level that I have to put above conservatism.
You said that.
That's my Christianity. I will not be voting for him based on what goes against my Christian principles. However, on a fiscal level and on a political level, there is no other candidate that can do good for America fiscally and politically than Donald Trump.
That's right.
Point blank, period. I cannot deny that fact. But he is not my savior.
No.
He ain't a bishop, and I'm not looking to him for my spiritual walk. So I have to decide for me, the same way Corey decided for him, that we will not be voting based on certain things about our belief with God. He supersedes all for us. That's what we said. Politically, he has the best chance to win. Politically, he has the best chance to obliterate all the pervs. He has the option to do it. That's all I'm saying.
And we've said on this podcast many times, I was like, Trump is never an absolute. And we always say if something came out with Trump that was proven true, and it was just something real horrible.
Of course, we're going to announce that.
We're going to announce it, and he wouldn't get my vote. But I vote with my pocketbook, straight up. I vote with my wallet. And I think most Americans nowadays, and this time that we're in, with the prices of everything going up, inflation rising, food prices rising, gas prices rising, everything you can afford, anything with a $60,000 a year income, when about 4 years ago that was easy to survive. Now you can't even do it. You need about 100. You need double that to survive. I think most people are voting with their wallet this time around, and I think you should.
That would be good. That's a good start. But hear me out. Here's where I know he will not go. Neither would Vivek. This is why I say he does not heed to his Hindu background. And this is just me based on what I believe as a Christian. I have to keep saying that because apparently people don't catch that part. I do not agree with the rainbow LGBTQ nonsense. I will never agree with it. Just understand that. You're not going to get me to think it's normal. You're not going to get me to think you're born that way. You're not going to do it. Okay, period. So if you're trying to tell me that I need to accept that, you can suck salt on that one. It's not going to happen. And as long as he pushes that, he's not going to get my vote. But if that's the only area that I disagree on him with, that's taking my vote away, it tells me that fiscally he can help America. That's all I'm saying. So for me, I have to stand by what I believe. This is what I have to do because it's what I'm called to do. I'm not saying anybody else has to. You have your own walk to do. That's all I'm saying. But for me, I have one hard and fast rule that I will not bend, even if it's Trump and even if it's to the benefit fiscally of America. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be standing before America. I'm going to be standing before God, not America, no president, none of that. I'm not going to be standing before the WEF. I'm not going to be standing before the UN. I have a different place to stand when it's time, and that's who I have to answer to. But when I look at this from a humanistic standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a fiscal standpoint, from an international relations standpoint, and from America First standpoint, Trump would be the best candidate for the job.
That's right.
Okay, not Biden, because Biden has too much international relations that have nothing to do with actual business and has everything to do with his post in office while being vice president and senator. For me to trust that old bag, I can't. You have a perverted son that has included you in perverted business. I can't deal with you. And I'm not talking about unscrupulous business. I'm talking about actual perversion of trafficking human beings and sleeping with young children. I can't back you.
Right.
And you're a racist. You have everything going for you that I would never back at all.
And Biden's a hypocrite for the guy that passed a 94 crime bill with minor drug offenses. He sure did allow his son to do a lot of drugs. Same thing he would have threw the average American citizen in for jail for a very long time. Biden will never get my vote, ever.
Yeah,
he can offer me reparations, $1 million. He'll never get my vote, ever.
It's just crazy to me that people don't understand the differentiation, and that's okay. We had AJ on the year. I mean, at least last year I had him on, and he said the same thing. Okay, this is it. Conservatives, and he said this on. If you guys want to follow AJ, he's a solid guy.
Yeah.
He said this. He said that people like to conflate conservatism with Christianity and Christianity with conservatism. They're not the same.
Nope.
Okay, they're not the same. The same way I can't say Christianity and being a Democrat is the same, although I find it hard to be a Democrat and a Christian. That one freaks me. I don't know how you manage that one, but to each his own. But I have to make a differentiation between the two because one is based on a political stance and one is based on God, period. Now, the political stance may have some influence of the Christian, and the Christian may look to the conservative and have, like, I can relate to that, but they're not the same. Stop making it seem as though all conservatives are Christian. And when you encounter someone who's not a Christian and a conservative, you'd be like, how do they accept you? Who's they? Who they? Who is they? And I think this is because the church has always tried to play middleman, and you can't be middleman in this. Stay out. Believe what you believe about politics, but you can't mix the two. You'll never be able to mix the two. They don't mix. It's oil and water. You can't mix the two. And I think for many of us, we seem to have this affinity to just try and make something out of nothing. When I told people, when Too Strong told people that we do not endorse Trump anymore, and we showed you why, we have not changed because he has not flipped his script on that yet. I'm saying yet because I'm holding out hope that he will. I'm holding out hope that he's going to come back and say, that was a stupid decision for me to do.
Yep.
Even though I want them to be part of the American society, I can't be going to them kind of parties. If that came forward, he'd get my vote back.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't done that. So you can't get my vote back. However, when I'm looking at the political landscape between Biden and Trump, I am rooting for Trump to get in on the surface, the superficial side, on political side. I'm not dealing with him on the spiritual side because that's my walk and no one else's. It's that easy to me.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that cleared things up for people because I don't think people may not understand that one.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. But we'll keep an eye to see if Nikki, and I shouldn't say if, when Nikki drops.
She will drop out. I think after
Yeah.
New Hampshire, I think she'll hang it up.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a one-man race at that time. He wouldn't have to do anything but have rallies. Nothing. Because I really don't think that Biden's going to get on that debate stage with him.
He can't.
No, there's no way. Yeah,
can't-
I mean,
he can't do
he can't get up there and call him Abraham Lincoln again.
I don't think. I think they will never have a debate if it comes down to it either. They'll make sure the debate doesn't have. Just like the last time they tried to make it all kinds of requirements and stuff. This time I think they'll completely not even let it happen. This time around.
No.
Can you imagine that bumbling buffoon trying to debate anything?
This guy.
He's worse than he was anyway.
Somebody plug him back up. We need to download some more stuff in this guy. He's like a Roomba. He's just.
Do you remember Big Hero 6? You ever seen Big Hero 6?
Yeah, that
the
cartoon.
movie? Yeah, the
The
one with the
movie, yeah.
big Baymax
Uh-huh.
with Baymax. Do you remember when Baymax ran out of battery? He's like, "Hey, dude, how was your service?" That's how Biden reminds me of, a weak, battery low Baymax. That's what he is, but not even as useful. Okay, so
And you think about the two candidates, right? They're both pretty close in age. Biden's a little older. Look at Trump compared to Biden. Just the way he carries himself. This dude is going around from city to city, state to state, doing these rallies, flying here, flying there. He's a senior citizen. And then look at Biden. This dude can barely walk across the stage, and you want to say that this dude is your guy? Look, at the end of the day, pick who you want to pick. It is a private vote. You can write in a banana if you want to. That is your vote. But, look at the candidates. And I don't know. Biden, he needs to be put out the pasture.
not even the pasture.
Yeah.
You need to do what we do to Old Yeller. That's all I'm saying. It's Old Yeller time. I'm dead serious about that one. Mostly because of the crimes he's committed against America. But they need to Old Yeller him and be done with it, man. I'm not pulling that back either. I know y'all might think I'm inciting violence. I don't care what you think. I think he's run his course. He's done what he can do. He's done enough crime against United States that he should be tried for treason. Like unequivocally tried for treason. Dead on 1,000 billion% tried for treason. And if it's treason, then Old Yeller is the result.
And it should be public.
It should be public. Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
Go back
Everyone.
Go back to the medieval days of the all of it.
You remember
whatever.
You remember that episode of the Savage Patriots where we talked about closing off DC and turn it into like a Hunger Games
a Hunger Game thing. Yeah. I'm still
and then,
for that.
The citizens get to take a poll on who fights next. Today's battle is Kamala versus Big Mike.
Big Mike. Mike gonna destroy that lady.
All they get is a broken broomstick.
Look, well, then Kamala might win because she's a witch. She might win.
Yeah.
She might pull some magic out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like,
Big Mike's like Simpson. He's out there just knocking, pushing over walls and stuff.
it's like Hulk versus Thor.
Oh man.
Oh, that'd be great stuff. I can't wait to see that one. That'd be good TV. That would only time I'd watch TV again.
Oh yeah,
that would be making TV great again.
or do like a Squid Games thing.
Oh man.
And then the people get to pick what they do.
That'd be great.
So you pick teams. So you have the Rhinos and the Dems, and they're on these different groups, and then they gotta do the tug of war over the bridge.
Man,
and
TV would be so good after that.
Red light, green light. Red light. Imagine Joe doing red light, green light.
He would be thinking red is green and green is red. Does red mean stop or go?
I'm confused. And then at the end, the last one standing might get to go home, but you got to do one more tests.
Home. No. We just put you out the
there ain't no
pasture.
home.
Put you
You
out the
just get,
pasture.
yeah, you just get to live in a little home, a
Okay.
tiny home.
We Judge Dredd him. So we sent. Do you remember when that the older guy stood up for Judge Dredd and they put him out of the city walls and had him walk into the desert? That's what we're gonna have you do.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, just go ahead and leave. You're done. You win. You get to freedom. What's freedom? You don't be here no more.
And it's just not American politician. I'm talking about a global,
global
thing.
thing, yeah.
You get them all, from the WEF to the Black Pope to all the way up to the Jesuits. All of them. They just come in here and they got to sit up there and play Squid Games, and we were allowed to make bets on it. You know,
Make some money off of them finally.
Yeah, make some money off of it. Yeah, up to the pot is up to $1 billion, a number that we can't even say, and it's a worldwide pot. You know. Who
That'd be
wins?
interesting. That would be interesting. I think that'd be much better than war. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that'd
Amount of bodies we'd save. Whew. And the only bodies that's left is the ones that we didn't want anyway. So it'd be perfect.
Mhm.
In any case, we go. I think we should tackle. I found some information out about Sarah Huckabee, and I think we should. Hey, if it was a Mortal Kombat thing, Ryan, man, it'd be okay. First of all, it'd be a horrible game because none of them could fight. It would be all fatalities just to see who goes out first. Yeah? Or better yet, it'd be like a disconnected controller playing my Mortal Kombat. All you see them is they're just doing this the whole time, nothing else.
Biden's so old. You remember how they used to pummel back in the days? And
Come on, have at you.
Like that Jerry Lewis skit where he's fighting that
dancing
boxer
around and
dancing around the ring. That'd be Biden.
No, that's
But he
way
wouldn't
too
be
much
dancing.
activity for Biden.
Yeah, that's
though.
too much activity.
Yeah,
But
that's
man,
way
that'd be great, man. We ought to create an AI series on that.
That'd be hilarious. I think we could make some viral stuff out of that.
They just wake up and there's walls around DC.
Man, that'd be funny.
And then you got Bro and Marlon up there like this.
We'll
Thumb down for every time.
Twice down.
2 thumbs down. Oh man, that'd be great.
We'll tackle Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Friday.
Yeah.
So we can figure out what exactly is going on with her. So tune in for that tomorrow. I'll see you guys on Straight Talk, and make sure you go over to Too Strong and check out all the videos we've been dropping. We got a whole slew more coming that are, really good. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Hopefully we'll have Jay Lee and Koi back on Friday. They both had illnesses going on either in the family or themselves. So it's going around. It's that time of the month.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully have them back on Friday. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys on Friday on the next Savage Patriots episode. The Hooch is on tomorrow.
Yes. For right now, there will be the Hooch tomorrow.
6 p.m. Central.
6 p.m. Central.
Okay, perfect. So make sure you tune into that one. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch at our store. And we'll catch you on Friday. Savage Patriots out. Peace.
Whoa.